This is the CLAYTON Church of Christ. This is March the 11th, 2020. This is our midweek Bible study. And it is entitled, God Must Be Involved with Your Battle for You to Gain Victory. God must be involved with your battle for you to gain victory. We pick up in 2 Kings chapter 3. We see now that there's a new prophet, Elisha, taking over for Elijah. And we understand here from the study that there's a new king also in Israel, the 10 tribes labeled Samaria. And that is going to be Jehoram, the son of Ahab. And the things that we want to point out in the lesson tonight, why must you have God involved in your battles? Why must you have God involved in your battle? Many people fail. They fail in life. They fail in marriages. They fail on jobs. They fail in the church work. They fail in parental relationships. They fail in friendships with friends that they've known for years. They fail in being a good neighbor to the neighbors that are around them. The reason they fail is because they come into battles that Satan wedges in between them, and that's the battle. The other person may not even know how to fight against the devil, but you know how to fight against him. So it's prevalent that you rise up and you war against the devil and keep him from being able to come between you and whatever relationship you have. Also, goals that you must accomplish. You can lose those battles. That's why we mentioned in the workplace. The workplace, you can lose a battle because of the devil wedges between not you and a physical achievement, but you listening to the person training you, or the person listening to you that you're training, because this is what is always involved in the workplace. You being able to relate to a customer, a group of customers who want your product. The devil wedges in between those issues. This is why people have frustrating lives. They turn to drugs, they turn to alcohol, they turn to abusing their bodies with mankind in whatever form they choose. They turn to thievery and lies and deceit because they don't realize Satan has simply wedged between you and another individual. That's why the Lord says the two areas that we must realize as we're looking at 2 Kings chapter 3. The two areas you must realize. God must be involved with your battle for you to gain victory. And the way that happens is you must be able to overcome your own hang-ups, your own desires, your own feelings, because you can only control the battle by your actions. You cannot depend on the other person to even be able to know how to defend himself and to war against the devil. So we see in 2 Kings chapter 3, we realize one important point. All men fight differently. And why do we say that? Well, Ahab had a certain style of battle that he used, his tactics being greatly encouraged by his wife Jezebel, who was not a believer in God. And so his son is different to a certain extent. So in this particular battle, Jehoshaphat is going to get involved now with this particular king as he did his father Ahab. This king is still not quite right. He's just evil in a different way. And that's why we say men battle different. He fights against God in a different way. As you notice who he's fighting against, he fights against God. So 2 Kings 3:1, now Jehoram, the son of Ahab, began to reign over Israel in Samaria the 18th year, he says, of Jehoshaphat, king of Judah, and reigned 12 years. So the Bible is showing us as an accurate record of when an individual has taken over. So you and I have to expect in our mind that God is teaching us that he knows exactly how long Jehoshaphat had reigned, 18 years. So his reign span while the father Ahab was reigning. He was killed in battle, of which Jehoshaphat was rescued from that battle because actually Ahab was protecting himself by setting Jehoshaphat up to make believe he's the king. And so now Samaria has a new king, Jehoram, And when year 18 hit for Joseph, he takes over. Look at it. He wrought evil in the sight of the Lord. He's not a good guy, but not like his father. That would be Ahab. And his mother, that would be Jezebel. For he put away the image of Baal that his father made. So he does evil in a different thing. He gets rid of the image of Baal. So he basically would say he gets rid of a false worship, be it denominational, Hindu, Buddhist, and Muslim for our day time. Whenever we teach a lesson, we always have to bring it home to our day time to understand how's it not about us. Because the first thing a person says is, what does it have to do with me? Well, this would have to do with you. When this king takes over, he's still evil, but he gets rid of the icon, the false worship, where he looks a little better. And thereby him doing this, God is working on his heart. He doesn't do it because he's such a good guy. God is working on his heart. So he listens to God a little bit more than Jezebel, his mom, and Ahab, his dad. But still, he's evil. He's doing a different thing. Sometimes you have a person, they say, well, I'm not homosexual, but I run women. And so he's still a sinner, but he's not that type of sinner. And so verse number 2 describes it. And it says, nevertheless, he cleaved to the sins of Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, which made Israel to sin. He departed not therefrom. Now, Jeroboam goes way back to when the kingdom was first split. Rehoboam gets one section, 2 tribes. Jeroboam gets 10. This guy is still holding on to those sins. It's just he doesn't have the Baal deal like his dad. So he fights differently. So you have to beware. This is what gets saints caught up. This may have been some of what influenced Jehoshaphat. Because he knows, okay, he don't have Baal like his dad, okay, but he's still not good. The next thing you must realize, people may be friends with those before you, who you're affiliated with as ancestors or people taking over a company before you got there. However, when you begin to lead, they may rebel against you. This always catches the saint. I don't know why they don't like me. And this is why people lose back. Brethren, you got to understand something. Israel never lost one battle that it talked to God about and that it was living right when it got into. To record, Israel never lost one battle, no matter how large the army or how weak they were in fighting. When they talked to God first and they were living right, they have an unlimited victory ratio. Your life is supposed to be the same, brethren. You're not supposed to lose battles. No. He lost a battle in one war. Look, that's a man tactic. That is not God's tactic. Jesus never lost a battle and he won the war. See, we want to be like Christ. When you lose battles, it's your fault. God never had an army defeat his army. What does David say when he walks up? He said, who is this uncircumcised dog that defies the armies of the living God? And so this guy, David knew, he can't beat our army because God is with us. This is God's army. When you engage in battles, if you don't have the mentality, we can guarantee you one thing, you're going to lose. Now, you may not tell us, but you're going to lose. They may have liked you in a marriage as a father until you married a different woman. Sometimes that develops through death. Sometimes develop if the woman leaves you and go marry another man. But the children don't like you now because you got a different woman. So in this case that we're studying, and this is why we study this, brother, because when saints talk about what they're going through, I'm like, I know you're not going to church and you're not listening to the videos or nothing, because we talked about that 6 months ago. It's like if you regularly follow, we feed the congregation what it needs. Now, if you don't eat, that's the way it is, Anybody that don't eat at the dinner can never taste what mom's cooking tastes like. They don't eat. So 2 Kings chapter 3 and verse 4 says, and Mesha, here it comes, king of Moab, was a sheep master. and rendered unto the king of Israel 100,000 lambs and 100,000 rams with wool. Now that's what he gave his daddy, Ahab. That's a lot of lambs, man. Notice it says with wool. That means you had meat, you had clothing, you got babies can be born, you got a lot. So this is a lot. But it came to pass when Ahab was dead that the king of Moab rebelled against the king of Israel. So he said, you know, I like your daddy, but I don't like you. I remember a guy said that about a guy that owned a sports team. He said, I like the daddy, but I don't like the son. He's a sports commentator. It's like, well, you know, the daddy dead now. I don't like you. I don't say bad stuff about you, but I like the daddy. You have to understand, when you take over in a relationship and you marry someone, and so many cases, it's like, you know, and it troubles the soul. I don't know what's wrong with saints. Saints act like they forgot that the Bible says that Satan is going to shoot fiery darts at you. He doesn't run out of them. He doesn't run out of fire or the dart. And he does not run out of hatred for the righteous. He hates our guts. He's never going to stop coming at you. And so if you get into a relationship, what we call blended families, he's got 2 kids, you got 3, you got to understand, your kids may not like you because you married another woman. They may still love mom, but mom may have just been wild, like a Jezebel, just running men. You know, like Jezebel went against God, running men, no. But you got to have a woman, or you the mother, and they love you and dad was there, or if dad should die, and they don't like you now, and they rebel against you. They can try to blame the person that you married, but it's you they got a problem with, because you pick that person. Then forth their way in their life and say, I'm going to be your dad, I'm going to be their husband. No, you ask them to come in there. And once rules and regulations and systems be put in place, they can be as fair as God in heaven, but they don't like you. Misha just doesn't like this guy, and he's a little bit better than his daddy. His daddy was really raw, but he does not like him. So he said, man, we're not giving no more sheep. No, man, let's go. We're going to whoop this boy. We're going to take over and destroy him. So this is what the problem is at. How do you defend against that? And you know what's sad about being a Christian? When we don't understand these systems exist, it's like, what do you go to church for? Why do you pray? Why are you a Christian? Why do you listen to anything somebody says? If you're not going to take it and make it fit into your life, it's worthless to you if you're not going to make it happen. Because we have to understand, when you take over a company or you start your own company, the people may like you when you were working with them. I know my brother told me they were good till they had their own thing. And they told him, bye. They rebelled as Misha against him. But he understood it was Satan, and he fared well since that very day. But the idea is everybody can't do that. You may say, you see people sometimes, you say, why is that person on drugs? Why is that person abusing alcohol? Why is that person talk rough to their spouse? Why is that person so rough to their children? Something has shifted, like the plates shift when an earthquake comes. And I don't like the system we're in no more. I'm mad that people are attacking me. So I'm going to take it out on my family. I'm mad that people don't like me. So I'm going to take it out on my neighbor. If he just act like he's going to cut my grass, I'm going to come and knock on the door and let him know, man, you don't never do that. Because I have issues. Problems just don't happen. They happen as a result of some action or some mentality. And so we look at the thought of recognize when you have not counseled God. You must be able to recognize, we didn't talk to God about this, and we're in this thing now, and I see I'm going to lose if I don't make an adjustment. Look at verse 6. And the king Jehoram, that's the bad guy, went out of Samaria at the same time and numbered all Israel. What does it mean, numbered all Israel? You must come and give the allegiance. You must bring some gift. Give your allegiance. It's not just counting people who got 50 here, 50 there. We've taken up allegiance notes. Who's with us? This is what got David in trouble when he numbered Israel. And so now he's numbering Israel. We got to say, okay, now is God with him in this or what? Because God does not like Misha. Believe that. He does not like him. And he's having difficulty in accepting Jehoram. But this is a battle that God is going to help him in, because he's reaching for his soul. And one of the things that's wrong with saints that live two-sided lives, they'll get with a real strong saint, and maybe with somebody that fears God but is not really in the kingdom. This is going to happen. So you got a real strong saint and a guy that goes to some church that act like they're worshiping God. And you, who is a saint but crooked. And you get ready to go on a battle and you realize, man, it don't look good. Neither of you know how to communicate to God. The fake saint and the weak saint. But the strong saint is the only one, I want you to remember this, who God will hear. I want you to remember, saint, I'm going to say it twice. He's going to only hear the strong saint. The lesson is about. That's why when we get a victory, we think it's still all good. He still don't like Jehoram, because he's got to make the adjustment to understand, man, you got to give me your life. I'm trying to work with you. You're not costing me nothing working with you, but I am going to cast you aside if you don't get right. Look what it says. And he went, verse 7, and sent to Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah. Now he's going to call the strong saint. Now remember, his daddy got Jehoshaphat in trouble, so he's through with them. But now he's going to lure him in again, saying, the king of Moab have rebelled against me. Wilt thou go with me against Moab to battle? And he said, and that's the same thing he told Ahab. I will go up. I'm as thou art. My people as thy people, and my horses as thy horses. Okay, so he giving the son a chance. And he said, which way shall we go up? And he answered, the way through the wilderness of Edom. So now they're going to go through Edom. So the king of Israel went, and the king of Judah, and the king of Edom. So they went and they got the king of Edom. Said, hey man, you're going to come with us. Because that's how they get it. They go through his will. He says, hey, I'm going to go with y'all. Now remember, Edomites are of the children of Esau. They are from the man Isaac. The problem is they have not followed God the right way. But God does tell Israel, now that's your brothers. And they're not faithful to me, but that's your brothers. But he's going to punish them because they never got it right, like Esau was hitting and missing in his life. They're just like their daddy. And they fetched a compass of 7 days' journey. And there was no water for the host. Look, there's no water for the host. And for the cattle that followed. So they got animals, they got their soldiers, but no water. And the king of Israel said, alas, the Lord had called these 3 kings together to deliver them to the hand of Moab. So he said, we're going to all die now. Now this is the bad guy. He said, we're going to all die now. But he does do one thing, right? He recognizes, well, it look like God going to get rid of us now. But Jehoshaphat said, is there not here a prophet of the Lord, that we may inquire of the Lord about him? Remember, he asked Ahab the same thing. They found Micaiah. And one of the kings of Israel's servants answered and said, here is Elisha, the son of Shaphat, which poured water on the hands of Elijah. He served him. He served Elijah. So this guy's good. And Jehoshaphat said, the word of the Lord is with him. So the king of Israel, Jehoshaphat, and the king of Edom went down to him. Now watch what's going to happen here. I want to show you something. When you get involved with people in your life, whether it is to help you with counseling, whether it is to help you with financial issues, whatever you're getting involved with, be wary of who you get involved with. Because you have to recognize, once you realize you have not asked God, you have to now seek God's word before you go into any battle or subject. Marriage, whether you're teaching a lesson, or you're seeking a job, etc. The list is endless. A lot of people don't take this route. They're like, I'm going to look for a job, man. I hope God bless me with a job. You always say, okay, now, I need to make sure this job not going to stop me in my walk with the Lord. Do you know how much money a girl makes dancing on a pole in these clubs naked? It's so much money. You don't see them get out no raggedy car. They get out of vets. Making money. There's shows about them all the time. There's stories about lifestyles all the time. Anywhere you look, you hear guys singing about, oh, she trying to feed her family. That's not the job you want if you're trying to go to heaven. If you're trying to feed your family, good job. Trying to go to heaven, bad job. But you got to understand, a lot of people do that. You got people who own clubs like that go to church every Sunday. I'm telling you what I know. And that's as much as I'm going to tell you. The problem is, God's not going to let people just drop dead. They may be so old they can't dance, but just get old as dirt and make gingerbread for everybody and go straight to hell and death. See, the problem is instructions, not actions, show you that God is with you. Instructions. So, whatever you're getting ready to go into, you got to ask God. We have 2 Kings 3 and 12. Look what it says. He says again. He said, we're going to talk to this guy. I'm going down to Edom. I'm going to talk to this guy, Elisha. Now, when they go to Elisha, watch who he talks to. Very important. There are 3 men there. There's the king of Edom, there's the king of Israel, and there's the king of Judah. And Elisha said unto the king of Israel, what have I to do with thee? Now, he doesn't even talk. Did you notice? He doesn't even talk to the king of Edom. Here's a point you need to make. You're not a believer. I'm not even talking to you. You know who God is, but you're not of the seed of Abraham in the sense that you have left the faith. I'm not even address you or your existence. But I am going to tell the king of Israel, I'm going to address him, but I'm going to let him know, what do I have to do with you? See, because remember, there's Ahab. His dad is the same one that tried his best to get rid of Elijah. His mama, Jehoram's mama, tried to kill Elijah, Jezebel. So he said, what have I got to do with you? Get thee to the prophets of thy father. See, remember Jezebel prophet? He said, why don't you go ask them? The prophet y'all used to go to. And the prophets of thy mother. See, he hitting him right where he needs to be hit. And the king of Israel said unto him, nay, for the Lord hath called these 3 kings together to deliver them into the hand of Moab. I tell you, it's 3 kings out, but he's not even talking to Edom. He's not even addressing. Verse 14, and Elisha said, as the Lord of hosts liveth, before whom I stand, surely, were it not that I regard the presence of who Jehoshaphat, the king of Judah, I would not look toward thee, nor see thee. What is that saying? If you would have came up here with you and this boy from Edom, I wouldn't even looked at y'all. Y'all have been talking ever, but Elisha, I'd have looked the other way. Elisha, and you'd have found him there. Because I don't respect you. Your daddy wasn't no good, and you're not no good. Your mama wasn't no good, you're not no good. And boy, you don't even worship God right. Edom, I'm not going to address you. What I want you to see is this is the mentality of God when you hit your knees to pray. You're not a member of the Lord's church. Look, it's only one prayer going to answer. Ask Cornelius. I'm going to send somebody to tell you about me, and then we'll talk. That's it. That's not good enough. I'm going to let you eat. You might even win some battles. That's fine. Sennacherib was whooping everybody on the planet and taking their God and buzzing them with a hammer. But when he spoke against the Most High God, God took it extremely personal and said, yeah, you're going to win because he said I'm not the God everywhere. I got to let him know I'm the God everywhere because if I got to save him, he got to first respect me. I'm the God everywhere. So God kills his army, sends him back while he's praying to his false God. He releases the anger his children has had against him, his 2 sons, and they kill their daddy while he praying to their false God. Isn't that amazing? This is the person you want in battle with you. You don't want to just pray to him. You want God in your battle. You want God to subdue your children that don't like you now because you have to marry somebody else because mama's dead. We're not over mama's dead yet. What? This is a man that need a woman. Nobody waiting on no children to get over no debt. Nobody waiting on no children to get over no debt. This is a woman that's saying, I'm having trouble paying bills. I've done all the things right in life I'm supposed to. I also am having trouble containing myself. I need to get married. I knew some people that everybody was old with gray hair and bald and got mad when they daddy married another woman. All of them was old, wasn't a young one in a bunch, and had something to say about their daddy marrying another woman. I tell people, Man, aren't you old enough to have your own business by now? Your hair's falling out. You should be old enough to have your own business. Why you worried about your daddy? See, this is what's wrong with people. So you have people that rebel against you. They say words that hurt you, causing you trouble. This is your life. Some people don't like the person that their child marries. Listen, if they're faithful to them and they love the Lord and they go into the church, I don't understand what the problem is. This is what you have to deal with in life. You have to marry somebody that love you and you love them, and that's all the Lord requires. And so therefore, parents will rebel against you. Church members will rebel against you sometimes. You decide that, you are going to marry someone. Sometimes church members rebel. And, we married that young one. He married a young one. What business is of yours? Did he marry you? You married by who somebody married. Oh, she got a man almost enough to be her son. What business is that of yours? You not have with the person you got? See, this is the problem. And see, this is why when you look and you see, why can't we function together? Because we're just like these guys, these two bad guys. We can't talk to God and we don't know what we're doing. But Jehoshaphat comes to the rescue because he can connect with the man of God. So he says in verse 15, but now bring me a minstrel. It's a music player. Came to pass, when the minstrel played, at the hand of the Lord came upon it. Why would God pick such an unusual way to reach Elisha? Why does God do anything? Saints, you have to understand something. It's a reason some people walk upright and they go through storms, man. You wonder what's holding them together? Stuff like this. They don't ask questions like that. God said, the prophet said, bring the music player to me. And when he plays, I'm going to tell you what to tell them. Elisha don't go, why is that, Lord? He just wait till he play. And he said, thus saith the Lord, make this valley full of ditches. So look what happened. Remember, y'all, they're out of water. The animals are going to start dying. And men die when they can't drink water. Oh, we know that. Men die when they're out of water. Your body cannot exist for very long without water. And no movie fool you. You can't do it. And so what happens is that he says, dig ditches. He's getting them prepared for water. When the Lord starts to give instructions, you and I must realize you must be obedient. The fifth point, let God do his miracle for you. All that is required is faith and obedience. That's all that's required. So he says, he explains, they ask, because they want to know, he already know, why we digging a ditch? Ditch, yes, multiple ditches. But thus saith the Lord, you shall not see wind. So it's not going to be like, oh, it's a front coming in. No. Neither shall you see rain. Or there's not going to be no regular summer shower. Or no winter shower, just regular. Yet that valley shall be filled with water. Notice the valley going to be filled with water. That you may drink, both ye and your cattle and your beasts. So you got your cattle, got your horses, camel, whatever you got, everybody gonna get water. Because you can't fight no battle without water. You're sick now, dying, organs drying up. So he said, dig the ditches. He said, but don't look for no wind. You'll be looking, man, is it raining yet? No. This is a miracle. God is still in the miracle business. The thing is, you won't see it physically. You won't see it physically. You're told to obey. All of a sudden, this person's heart turns another way and leaves you alone. All of a sudden, your children start to listen to you. After a big blowout argument, and what happened? God knows how to let children get in trouble. Get in trouble. They all down here stuck, and I can't get away home. And then the daddy that they don't like no more come pick them up. And then, this one he in trouble. He need $50, or he's not gonna be able to take his test. And the mama, the woman that he married, they don't like him for, gotta bring $50 out of her account. And God knows how to break us to say, okay, now I'm gonna show you how these people can help you or you can suffer. He'll turn their heart. But that's a miracle. You say, how's a miracle? Because you didn't know none of that was going to happen. Some people hate your guts and they'll just run away from home. So you have to know how the Lord help you. He'll turn the workers that hate your guts and don't like you and they murmuring against you. Man, I'm trying to do less work as I can. He'll turn around where somebody gets sick in their family and now they need overtime. They have to come to you. Hey man, I know I was complaining last week about OT, but my auntie real sick, man. She was helping us out. I really need some more time. Okay, man, yeah, I'm going to fix you up. Yeah, what day can you work? Fix you up. Now they're your friend because God has broke them. All sickness is not natural. All storms not natural. Some things God bring. And this is but a light thing in the sight of the Lord. Look what he says. He will deliver the Moabites also into your hand. He said, that's a light thing, man. This is nothing for God to do. It's not no big deal for God to do. To make this water come. And he gonna also let the Moabites, watch this, deliver them into your hand. And you shall smite every fenced city and every choice city, and shall fell every good tree. You're gonna tear all the trees down and stop all wells of water. So you're gonna stop their water. You're gonna ruin their land. Watch what they're gonna do. And mar every good piece of land with stone. They're gonna throw so many stones at this nation that remember who they got fighting with. Remember they got Benjamites. Remember they left-handed throw. Always been known, left hand and can throw a rock and hit you a half breath away and still pop in your head. They're gonna fill the land with stones. It's like, my goodness. Now this is what you gonna do. This is your part. One of the things we have to understand is you must be ready for the battle to do your part. Because God is going to also do another thing he does. He deceives your enemies. He makes your enemies think that they have either lost or that they can take you. Either way. If they think they lost, they'll run away and get nervous like they did in many battles, or they'll come and think they can take you and defeat you. One nation heard someone coming. They just got scared and ran and left everything. And some lepers came into the city who were dying. And they said, well, man, they said, we're already going to die. We stay at our land. Let's just go to the enemy. If he kills us, what working out? Maybe he'll feed him. When they get to the camp, the people are gone. They have food, clothes, and all sorts of things. Because God caused fear to hit the enemy, and he just left. Sometimes the enemy just leave you alone. You'll be nervous. You'll say, we're supposed to have a meeting today, and Bob is coming at me. Oh man, I don't know what happened, but Bob said he got other stuff to deal. He said he not even coming to me. Just let him leave you alone. What? See, God defeated them. Look what happened. Okay, let's look at, if you will, 2 Kings 3 and 21. Watch what happens, saints, as we wrap up. And when all the Moabites heard, now watch this, hold on, we want to get to verse 20. Oh my goodness, thank God, we can't miss that. So they said they're going to fill the lambs with stone, verse 20. It came to pass in the morning when the meat offering was offered. Now remember, what does that mean? Why is that important, meat offering? They kept on praying. They kept on talking about God. They kept on serving the Lord. Some people, when they got a tragedy, they can't talk about God. They can't come to church. They can't do nothing. Just pray for me. But these people still brought the meat offering. They still brought the meat offering. Hey man, time to bring the meat. We got to do our regular work. Pray. I said, let's sing some songs. Do whatever we got to do. You should still be doing the things that God has told you to do. Because he got his part sealed. He says that behold, there came water by the way of Edom, and the country was filled with water. Did y'all hear that? Water came from some kind of way. God brought water into the valley, watch this, with no rain, and filled all the ditches. Then he said, now what if they hadn't dug ditches? The water's going to flow all past. So if you don't be obedient, God's not going to help you. If the Lord says to love your neighbor, to love each other, to help each other, you know one thing saints are not good at? This is one thing we suffer with. Being accountable. We're just, in some cases, not accountable. MIA, missing in action, until the Lord rips our heart and tells you have to go and ask the people of God what to do. Why can't we just show up and perform? Missing in action. Lord help us. So he says, and when all the Moabites, now watch what happened, heard that the kings will come up to fight against them. They didn't run. They're not scared. They know it's 3 kings. They don't care. They gathered all that were able to put on armor and upper and stood on board. So they stood on board. So let's stand on board of our land. And we finna, man, we finna, look at that mentality. These guys are fearless. We finna whoop y'all. I don't care if it's 3 of y'all. And they want to whoop them if God had not been with them. But watch what happens. And they rose up early, verse 22, in the morning. Now look at God's deception. And the sun shone upon the water. See, the sun hits the water. Because remember, the valley was dry. But the sun hit the water. They got ditches. What did the Lord say? Dig ditches. See, if you don't do what he say, he can't perform his miracle. He said, dig ditches. Now there's ditches of water everywhere all around. Watch what happens. He says, they saw the water on the other side as red blood. When that sun, when sun hit water, it changed color. They saw the water. They said, it's blood. Watch what's going to happen, y'all. And they said, this is blood. The kings are surely slain, and they have smitten one another. Now therefore, Moab to the spoil. They thought, because remember, this is 3 kings that fight each other. The king of Edom, king of Israel, and the king of Judah. They usually are fighting each other and arguing with each other. Edom doesn't want to serve David's seed. The 10 tribes don't want to serve. So he said, well, they must have gotten a fight with each other. People do that in armies. And there's no more blood out here. Let's go get the stuff. So how do they approach the battle? We go and take the stuff. There's no one to fight. They're dead. But the deception is when the sun shines, they can't see none but blood. They can't see that these people are encamped in the right position to fight. And this is what happened. And when they came to the camp of Israel, the Israelites rose up and smote them all by. So when they came to the camp, they said, man, here they go, let's get them. So that they fled before them. So they tried to run, but they went forward, smiting them up even in their own country. Followed them all the way back to their house and whooped them and killed them. And they beat down the cities on every good piece of land, cast every man his stone, and filled it. Remember, they all had rocks to throw. You got rocks, hurling, catapults, all kind of stones. Anything you can think of to sling something, whatever they had invented, the land of the Moabites was full of rock. And you say, why is that a big problem? Do you know if somebody come fill your yard with rocks, it's going to be hard to walk back there. You can't cut the yard no more. Grass, girl, it's rock. You got to get every rock up. It's in the way. It's like your land has been ruined. All your people dead. Rocks everywhere. And so what he says is, and filled it. Look what he said. Good piece of stone, and filled it, every piece of good land, and stopped all the wells of water. So they took and covered all the wells of water. Isn't that sad? All the wells of their water dried up and filled all the good time. You know why he said, well, what's the big deal to cut down trees? Did you know there'll be no houses if you don't have trees? You can't make houses out of all particle board. Don't care what they try. You can't just make particle board unless you have some wood, something. If I tie down your trees, man, I got you. No more fruit growing. Your land is ruined. And your people dead. Whatever women or stuff was left, they can't do nothing. They ain't got nothing to work with. And they left the stones thereof, he says, all the way only in Ker-Haresh left they stones there. Howbeit the slingers went about it and smote it. So the slingers went through that. So we're gonna leave the trees here, but we're gonna kill folks. So you can't do nothing either. And when the king of Moab saw that the battle was too sore for him, he took him 700 men that drew swords to break through, even unto the king of Edom. But they could not. So he said, man, let's get 700 men. Let's go on the king of Edom's side. We can whoop his side. See, when you have battle set up, you have to attack at different angles. You have a guy that doesn't like you because of your race. You have to attack at a different angle. He says, you might say, okay, I'm going to come at him like this. I'm going to make him think his race is okay, better than me. I'm just going to be quiet, not say nothing. But he still don't like it. Still don't like it. No matter what you say. No matter, nothing David could do to make Saul like him. The more righteous he was, the more Saul said, I got to kill him. Because I got to kill him. I got to get him out the way. God is with him too good. So I got to kill him. And so the thing is, you have to understand is this what happened against the king of Edom. They could not break through. They could not defeat. And he was victorious. Then he took his elder. Now notice this. Once this battle is over, you've done your part. Something you got to remember. You got to recognize why you won. God going to show you why you won. The wicked will always continue, in these cases, to trust his false belief system. Even in defeat, he will not give in to God. Look at the last verse. Verse 27. Now this is the king of Moab. Then he took his eldest son. And look, he took his oldest son, his firstborn, that should have reigned in his stead, the heir to the kingdom, and offered him, look what he does, for a burnt offering upon the wall. Do you see that? What a demon. And there was great indignation against Israel. They couldn't stand Israel. And they departed from him and returned to their homeland. In his defeat, he takes his oldest son, puts him on a wall, and burns him. Because that's what his God says to do. He didn't go, they defeated us. Maybe we should worship their God. You're not going to get a heathen to turn to the Lord God. He believes in his system. If you can't win him with the words, when you defeat him in battle, once you validate he's wrong, he's not coming to your side. He's still going to offer sacrifice to his God. He's going to be at his church the next Lord's Day, or whatever day he worships, Saturday, Tuesday, because he still believes in his God. All he knows is you whooped him. And all he's going to think is, I'm going to try to get him in another battle. We'll talk again. You have to understand, you save yourself. That's who you save. When you talk to people about the Bible, you saving yourself. The only way you're going to save them is if they can see in battle they were defeated, and they can reach in their heart and say, well, what do I need to do to be saved? That's the part where not. You hear how you've lost battles in life. You have a problem with drugs. God not taking you through nothing. You have a problem with drugs. You're sinning. You have a problem with alcohol. You put yourself in that. You're having problems in your marriage. You got to get that fixed. You got to get your life right. What part are you playing to ruin it, fix that? Nothing about the Lord make you sometimes say something. No, you're doing something. If you can find what your actions are and you're bold enough to read and accept, I shouldn't be running around. I shouldn't be getting high. I shouldn't be thus and such. I shouldn't be hitting on my wife. Okay, yeah, you're the problem. You say, man, they treat me bad on my job. They're jealous of me. Do you go to work? Do you go to work on time? Do you work when you get there? Do you steal? Do you try to do the less as possible? Are you clocking out early? Are you doing things they told you not to do? That's why you're having trouble on your job. You've lost your battle. He said, well, my parents, they treat me bad. I don't know why. Are you doing what they say? Do you listen to them? Do they have to tell you multiple times to do what you've been told to do already? Are you sneaky and acting like you did something? When you get to school, do you skip? You are going through your own trouble. Whether they even know you're skipping school or not, God has turned their heart against you because you're doing things that are evil. You say, well, the congregation, they're not working with you. Are you sinning? Are you teaching truth? Are you teaching error? Are you serving from your heart? Are you living a double life? You're the problem. It doesn't matter if they know you're living a double life. God has turned their heart against you. How do we know that? Israel was so evil, as we stop here, that when David numbered Israel, the Bible says God turned his heart against Israel. Turned David's heart against Israel and numbered them. And that means when they came and gave their allegiance, Joab said, man, we already did. We shouldn't be doing this. Why are we doing this, David? He said, man, just do what I told you. And then God smote them with a plague. And then David realized he's sinned. He repents after thousands of them died. You have to understand is God will turn the very holy person against you if you live in a rag life because they're weak in that area. He'll turn them against you. So we have to make sure we walk right and that we encourage others to do so. If you're here not a member of the church, recognize you got to be baptized to be saved. Listen to the message. There's a little triangle that is to your right side on the screen. And by that little triangle, you can see clearly. If you touch it, it opens up a big list. You can call numbers for Bible study, for directions of how to get baptized, any counsel you may need. But if you're at the point of being baptized, you got to call numbers so we can direct you. Because if you believe Jesus died, was buried, third day, rose again, you're willing to give your life to Christ. How's that done? The Bible tells us Jesus died and was buried on third day, rose. 1 Corinthians 15, 1 through 4. That's the only reason you should believe it, because it's in the Bible. You also have to accept Christ said in Mark 16, 16, he that believes and is baptized shall be saved. He that believes not shall be damned. If you believe that, Peter told them exactly what to do. And Acts 2 and verse 38, repent and be baptized, every one of you, in the name of Jesus Christ for remission of sins, and you shall receive the gift of the Holy Ghost. For the promise unto you and to your children and all that are far off, even as many as the Lord our God shall call. In other words, he testified and encouraged them to save yourself from this crooked generation. Then they that gladly received his word were baptized the same day. About 3,000 souls were added unto them. They continued steadfast in the apostle doctrine, breaking bread, and in prayers. And the Lord added to the church daily as to for the servant such as should be saved. That's someone he determined should be saved. The fellowship is critical. How do you walk in it? 1 John chapter 1, as Christ walked. Not as anyone else, but as Christ. While we should not be pointing to negative examples, they made me lead a church because Christ has done nothing wrong. We believe that. We'll see in Acts chapter 8, the eunuch is excited about baptism. Sees the water, he asks, what hinders me? Philip tells me, if you believe with all your heart, you may. So I believe Jesus Christ is the Son of God. South of charity baptized, and then they rejoice. We have to understand there's a reason why. 1 Corinthians 12, 13. For by one Spirit, Paul says, are we all baptized into one body? That's the church. Colossians 1:18. Have all been made to drink into one Spirit. Even if we're in jail or not. It's such a wonderful thing. Even if we're a Jew or not, there's only one way in. Peter says it'll say, 1 Peter 3:21, the like figure. Whereunto even baptism is also now save us. Don't worry about the thief on the cross. He said now. He tells us not the putting away the filth of the flesh. It's not the water. It is our conscience responding to God's request that we be saved by his method. It's given power by the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Whereas he had in heaven at the right hand of God, angels, authorities, and powers being made subject unto him. If you believe that, the Lord will rescue you now. He says, be faithful unto death, though the devil will cast some of us into prison. 10 days he'll try us. What is his goal? To show God you don't love him. To show God you don't believe. You can't be afraid of how the battle looks. Once you counsel with God, go in. Victory is guaranteed. Revelation 2 and 10. But some of us are here, members of the church. If you listen to the message also, you can call for counsel. You can ask for prayer. But if you're here and there's something in your life causing you trouble, whatever it may be, if you feel you're the trouble, you can ask for prayer. While together we stand and sing Heaven's invitation. Oh, do not and close thine eyes against the light. Oh, sinner, harden not your heart.